AniOta become ninja. Chapter 8 Cryptanalysis. Jen was working with white hat hackers in a secure room at Yokota Air Base. Their mission was to decrypt the encrypted communications between Cornelia and the Republic of Zalin, and prevent the leakage of nuclear weapons. Jen, focus on this packet. There's a large amount of data being sent at specific times, pointed out Karen, the leader of the white hat hackers. Jen scrutinized the screen and analyzed the data in detail. Indeed, there seems to be some critical information here. Judging by the data patterns, the communication is highly encrypted. But this pattern looks familiar. Karen nodded. This resembles an encryption method once used by the NSA. If we apply the right decryption algorithm, we might be able to crack it. Working together, Jen and Karen applied the decryption algorithm. After several hours, they finally succeeded in decrypting part of the communication. It contained specific instructions and plans exchanged between Cornelia and Zalin. This is the detailed plan for Cornelia to provide nuclear weapons to Zalin. It even includes the target, facilities and transport routes. Jen murmured in astonishment. They immediately reported this information to the United States government, and an emergency response meeting was convened. High-ranking officials from the State Department and the Department of Defense began taking action to exert diplomatic pressure on Zalin. With this information, we can apply strong pressure on the Zalin government. Swift and effective action is needed to prevent the leakage of nuclear weapons, stated a senior State Department official. A few days later, the Zalin government succumbed to international pressure and announced the abandonment of its dealings with Cornelia. The nuclear weapon leakage was averted, and the crisis was temporarily resolved. With a relieved expression, Jen said to Karen, "We did it. We've overcome a significant hurdle. But it's not over yet. We can't let our guard down regarding Cornelia's next move." Karen nodded. "That's right. Let's gather more information in preparation for the next step. And we need to inform Momo and Hanzo about this development." Jen immediately contacted Momo and Hanzo to discuss the recent success and future plans. They rejoiced and vowed to unite with renewed determination. "Let's keep this momentum going. The next battle might be tougher, but we can overcome it together," Jen said. And Momo and Hanzo nodded firmly. Thus, the Ninja Project entered a new phase, ready to face even greater challenges. Chapter 9 Hijacking. Having successfully decrypted the encrypted communications between Cornelia and Zalin, Jen and his team faced a new challenge: to completely neutralize Cornelia's nuclear weapons. They needed to hijack the military systems. Jen planned with Karen, the white hat hacker, to utilize blockchain technology to develop a launch control program. Karen, with blockchain technology, we should be able to manage launch orders through a decentralized network. This will make it impossible for a single entity to launch independently, Jen explained. Karen nodded. "Exactly. Ideally, we'll distribute launch orders to major security agencies of various countries, requiring approval from all agencies before execution. With the cooperation of the Ministry of Defense and collaboration with United States military experts." Jen and Karen worked for weeks on developing the program. Their goal was to infiltrate Cornelia's military systems and covertly install this control program. This program will require approvals from various countries on the blockchain. As soon as a launch order is issued, Jen briefed the team. This way, Cornelia won't be able to launch nuclear weapons unilaterally. The challenge is how to install this program into Cornelia's systems. Karen remarked. After careful consideration, Jen proposed, let's ask for Takahashi's help to find sympathizers within Cornelia's ranks. If we have insiders cooperating, the installation process should proceed smoothly. Takahashi quickly made contact with anti-government factions within Cornelia, composed of dissenting military personnel and scientists opposed to Cornelia's radical policies, who also wanted to prevent the use of nuclear weapons. Thanks to our inside collaborators, installing the program is feasible. But it must be done with utmost secrecy, Takahashi informed Jen. Jen and Karen meticulously planned, and, with the help of insiders, successfully accessed Cornelia's military systems. They were on the verge of installing the control program, when an unexpected crisis occurred. We have an emergency. Karen rushed over. It seems like some permanent members of the Security Council have leaked this plan to Cornelia. What? Jen was astonished. We have to abort the installation immediately, or we'll jeopardize the lives of our inside collaborators. Once the other side is alerted, any further action carries too much risk, Karen explained urgently. Jen was forced to make a decision. Understood. Let's withdraw immediately. We must avoid further risks. Jen and Karen hastily aborted the installation operation from Cornelia's systems. The leak of their plan posed a significant obstacle, pushing them to reconsider their next steps. This isn't over. We need to think of our next move, Jen resolved. Agreed. Let's learn from this failure and find a more secure approach, Karen concurred. Despite this unforeseen setback, Jen and his team remained determined to revise their strategy and move forward to the next phase. Chapter 10 Worst Case Scenario. After Jen and his team's hijacking plan failed, Cornelia swiftly escalated security measures on their military systems to prevent any further interference. Focusing all their efforts on fortification, their response has been swift. Giving them time to enhance security may have inadvertently worsened our situation, Jen confided anxiously to Karen. Karen, maintaining her composure outwardly, but sharing similar concerns internally, replied, "We need to devise a countermeasure." While Cornelia is busy strengthening their security. However, their haste might have destabilized their systems. Her intuition proved correct. Due to their rushed efforts, Cornelia had skipped thorough testing of their systems before implementing security upgrades. A few days later, Jen received an urgent call from Takahashi. There's been a major oversight, due to Cornelia's security team skipping system tests. It seems there are significant flaws in the control program. Jen was stunned by the news and immediately contacted the entire team. "Everyone, this is an emergency. There are critical flaws in Cornelia's control program. This could lead to accidental missile launches." At that moment, further distressing news arrived from the Ministry of Defense. Due to malfunctions in Cornelia's systems, 2 nuclear missiles had been launched towards Zalin. This is unbelievable. Jen was left speechless by the report. Karen sprang into action immediately. "Takahashi, what are our interception options? Have we contacted the Zalin government?" Takahashi responded urgently, "We've activated interception systems. But time is tight. Contact with the Zalin government is ongoing. But their response may not keep pace." Several hours later, more specific information arrived. The launched nuclear missiles were tactical in nature and had landed in the mountainous regions of Zalin. resulting in casualties numbering in the hundreds. We've avoided the worst-case scenario of hits on the capital. But the damage is extensive, Takahashi reported grimly. Jen, filled with deep remorse and determination, began contemplating their next move. We need to go to the ground. We must assess the damage and contribute to relief efforts as much as possible. Karen agreed, support on site is crucial. We should utilize Momo's plasma technology and Hanzo's microbiology to mitigate the effects as best we can. With the cooperation of the Ministry of Defense and the United States military, Jen and his team embarked on an emergency mission to Zalin. They pledged to risk their lives to minimize the impact of the nuclear disaster and initiate recovery efforts.